Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Perfect 10 Through the Fog. Now I've kind of butchered the title a little bit, but when you actually take a look, the puzzle is called Perfect 10 Throught the Fog. Now I think either Megan or Double Three, who's the constructor of this puzzle, either intended to be through or throughout, and actually both make sense when you take a look at this particular rule set. If you haven't guessed it already, it is another fog puzzle. It is from Megan 033, and I guess the throughout reference could be around the fact that we're back to this phenomenal series of one and only one line throughout the entire grid. So I'm really looking forward to these. I actually tend to really enjoy these. I think the fact that you know that this line connects and there's a loop, and somehow you're sort of meant to use it as part of the logic, really enjoyable for me. Anything else to say? It's a little bit early for me as I'm recording. I just didn't get a chance to yesterday, quite a busy day in the office. It's 4 a.m. at the moment, but hopefully by the time you guys see it will be the usual time that it goes out, as opposed to late. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets with Perfect 10 Throughout the Fog by Megan033 and the following set of rules. First one, normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Then we have, there is one and only one red sum line where contiguous groups of cells sum up to 10. These groups of cells cannot overlap, and digits may repeat freely on the line even within sums. So, I mean, one thing that it doesn't say is the size of that contiguous group. So I assume it could be 2 cells. I assume it could be 3 cells. I assume it could be 4 cells. Now, the fact that Megan033 specifically said that digits may repeat freely on the line, it might actually even be able to go beyond 4 cells to create a sum of 10. But what I'm guessing here, and I say I'm guessing, yes, these groups of cells cannot overlap. So if it's, let's make an example. If these 2 cells add up to 10, well, the next 2 cells or 3 cells that add up to 10 won't overlap. So, you can't reshare this digit from this group in the blue cells with the group in the purple cells. They are definitely distinct. So that's going to be helpful. We've got, of course, crop dots. A black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2 to 1 ratio. So essentially, if this cell is 2, this would have to be 1 or 4, so that one cell is double the other. We also have white crop dots. So if this is a 2, down here, whatever is appearing in the fog there would be 1 or 3, so that it is consecutive. Not all dots are given. A 4 in here with no black dot, a 3 in there with no white dot. All of that is going to be allowed under today's rule sets. Then we have digits in a cage do not repeat and sum to the clue in the top left, and of course the fog. So if that cell was indeed a 2, this would have to be a 3 to make sure that these 2 cells add up to the 5, which is the given sum for this killer cage. It does explicitly say digits in cages do not repeat. So if there are cages that do something as such, let's imagine that this is a cage, bad choice of colors, then essentially all of these cells will be unique. These 2 cells technically could be the same because they're in different rows, columns, and boxes, but if they're inside the same orange cage here, they couldn't. And then last but not least, of course, the reason that many of you are going to be enjoying this puzzle is the fog. The grid is partially covered with fog. Correctly placing these digits will clear the fog around that cell, and no guessing is required. So that cell is a 2. All of these surrounding cells that are covered in fog will be revealed, and hopefully will give us more information to allow us to proceed with the solve. That's all the rules we have for today. As always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. With that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, we have a decent amount of information, but I think we're very much going to have to focus around kind of this sum of 10s, the perfect 10 part of Through the Fog. Because obviously 5 can be one of 2 answers. It could be 1, 4, or it could be 2, 3. Now, these 2 cells definitely don't add up to 10 on their own. That's the black crop dot giving us a clue. Because essentially, if it is indeed 2 digits that add up to 10 across here, that would have to be like 6 and 2/3, and this would have to be 3 and 1/3. And that's not allowed under today's rule set. Hopefully never allowed in any Sudoku. I think I struggle enough with integers. So I'm also fairly confident this is not 8, 4, because that would be 12, and then I'm in trouble. If that's 8 and that's 4, well, I've now broken the perfect 10 rule. There has to be contiguous sets that actually sum up to 10. So this is not 8. Right, so these are low digits. 1, 2, 3. Could be 4, I guess that could be 2. That would work. So that is essentially 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. But let's actually go through them systematically. If that's 1, that's 4, that's 2. If that's 2, that would be 3. That could be 1. I'm not doing the sums. I really need to do the sums. So if this is 1, this is 2, that's 4. And these two cells add up to 3. So I need 2 cells that add up to 7, or 1 cell. Pretty sure I can't do 2 cells because all of the low digits are gone. Yeah, that would have had to be in 3, 4, and the 4 is gone. So that would have to be a 7 in this scenario. Then we have 2, which obviously can go back to 1. You can have a 3 in here, and that would be 7. Still, okay. Then my next option is a 3 in here with a 2 in there, a 6 in here, so that would be 6, 3, and then a 1 to get to 10. So that also works. Right, we're going to have to give this a go. If that's 4, yeah, there is 4 doesn't work. So essentially, if this is 4, that's 1. And then, yeah, 4 doesn't work. 4 doesn't work. Right, the reason is, essentially, am I confident enough to do this in large digits? I am. If that's 4, that's 1. And then this is going to be 2 or 8. We've already established that 8 doesn't work, so that would be 2. Then these 2 cells are now adding up to 6, and I need 2 cells or 1 cell that adds up to 4. 1, 3 doesn't work, and obviously the 4 is already used, so that doesn't work. So I think that is essentially all of them. It's either a 1, 2 with a 7 or a 6, 3 with a 1. So 1 is always gone on here. And if it's 1, 2, 2 would be gone. If it's 6, 3, 2 would be gone. So 1 and 2 are no longer available in essence in this construction. And I think it's starting to make me wonder about this side. So in essence, my options are, given 1 and 2 are gone, 6, 3, 2, 1, yes, or a 1, 2 pair. So essentially, I have only 3 and 4 available left as low digits, and actually only one of them, because potentially one of them is in here, isn't it? Yeah, if it's 6, 3, that's 3. If it's 1, 2, well, this is going to be 3 or 4. So actually one of the 3 or 4s is in here, clearly with a 6 or 7. So to make a 10, I say clearly, I mean, like, I think I'll just disprove. If, you know, essentially, let's go with a low digit. I now need 2 cells that add up to 7 if I'm trying to go beyond just the 7 in here. But given 1 and 2 are gone, as well as the 4 if I've placed the 3 in here, then I have nothing left but high digits and the 5. And obviously the 5, even if I use that as the lowest digit, that would require a 2, which is gone. It's in here. So essentially, that is 3, 4, 6, 7. And then that leaves me with 3 digits that I actually haven't used at all, which is 5, 8, 9. Now I'm going to use some color sets to help me along here. These 2 cells add up to 10. These, and it can't be 4 cells. We've already established it would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and one of the low digits has to be in here. That is a new set, and this is starting another set again. I'm not going to keep I'm going to recycle colors later and keep starting new ones. Then this is definitely, obviously it's always more than 1 cell. I don't know if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, we don't know, but it's always more than 1. So this is also purple. Okay, where do we go from here? So can this be 5? I think the answer to that is yes. Obviously, I couldn't have a second 5 in here, so these two cells would have to add up to 5. And that wouldn't be possible. So if this is 5, yeah, just imagine that this is 5, then I can't put the second 5 in here to get to 10. I would have to have 2 cells, because I can't make 3 cells add up to 5, given the next cell along this line would have to be, would see both of these, whether it's straight across or in the same box. So there would have to be 2 cells that add up to 5. And essentially my options would be 1, 4 or 2, 3. And you can see that white Kropke dot rules it out, because the only way I can make that white Kropke dot work would be a 4 and then a second 5, which is impossible. So that's not 5, that's off the table, which I think will almost certainly make this 1 or 2. Again, I can't have a double 1, for example, if that's an 8. So that actually does stop, and this is a new set of 10, which doesn't help me with my white Kropke dot here. Does it? No, it doesn't. Yeah, no, it doesn't. But it is a... So one of these 2 cells is a 5. I think that's kind of one thing we should say. And then my options are... I feel like I'm complicating this. What am I missing? How have I not placed any digits yet? I think that's the question on my mind right now. 6, 3, 1 doesn't work because that would be 4, 6 in here. So 6, 3 was never going to work. And this is forced. And therefore this 7 is gone, 3, 7 is gone, and this is 4, 6. And that can't be a 4 anymore, can't be a 2, that's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 7. 4, 6 in here. That 2 gave me a 1 there, 9 here. Dear oh dear. Right, 5, 8 pair. If that's 8, that couldn't be a 9, because essentially the next one along would have to be a 1 to add up to 10, and the 1 is not available. And it couldn't be a 7. So this is 5, and this is 4, 6. And then this is definitely 8, and then this has to be 2. Again, can't be a double 1 in the same box, etc. So that would be 2. These 2 cells are not 6, 9, they're 7, 8. That, if it's 8, would be 7 or 9. If it's 7, well, it couldn't be 8, it would have to be 6. And remember, this is a new set, so blues. This is definitely part of the purple, so my options... Actually, remember, this is a white Kropke dot, so this is like a relatively high digits of 6, 7, 8, 9. You take a look at that 4, 6, and these 2 cells have to add up to 10. Only option would be 4, 6, 7. So, yeah, that's forced. And then the 8 in here leaves 7 and 9 both as viable options, so I'll leave that. Then I have another 2 sets, another set here of at least 2 cells. Can I actually figure this out? No 6, so this is 7, 8. It's not 6, 9. That 8 means that's a 7, and that's an 8. Now that could be 3 to add up to 10, but it could also be 2 with a 1 in here. Can't be 1. So this is 2, 3. Actually, that 7 gave me the 9 up there if I paid attention. That is now a 1. That's another set in here now that's in purple. What is that? So it's 1, 2, 3. It's actually 4, 6. Because essentially, I've used all the other black Kropke dots. And then the non-black Kropke dots that are remaining are 5, 7. Ironically, that could be another 4, 6. Let's think about this. If this is 6, that's 3. Possible. If that's 4, well, it couldn't be 2. It would be 8. That's fine as well. 1, 2. What is this cell? In fact, what's going on in here? Let's think about that. If that's 6, that could be 4. That could obviously be 2 cells that add up to 4. So I could do 1, 3, and that 1 tells me that would be the 1. That would be 3, but the black Kropke dot tells me that doesn't work. So no, if it is 6, that's forced to be 4. And then that would be 2 or 8, and it can't be. So that can't be 6. Now, let me just go through that logic one more time to make sure I've definitely thought it through. So if that's 6, I need 1 or 2 cells that add up to 4. Now, 1, 3 doesn't work, as in a 2-cell option, because of the black crop kit. Forget what's the Sudoku for a second. Because 1 and 3 are not in a 2-to-1 ratio. So it'd have to be a single cell, which is 4, if that's 6. And then this would have to be 2 or 8, neither of which is available. So that can't be 4, that can't be 6, that is 4, that is 8. This is now either, actually there's no either, it is just 6. For the exact same reason, that black crop dot eliminates the 2-cell option. Yes, you can make 6 come up with 2, 4, but the 4 is not available. The other option would be 5, 1, and that is clearly not in a 2-to-1 ratio. So that is 6. That means that's 3, that's 3. These 2 cells are 6 without repeating digits. Not that it matters. Well, neither of them are 4. Therefore, this is 1, 5. And the only way to make this 1, 5 with a 5, 7 in here is that's the 5, that's the 1. Lovely. Another set of 10. And then we can do actually quite a bit of things here. Let's tidy up. 1, 2, 3. I need 4, 5, 6. Not 6. I can just place whatever this digit is. 2. And then I can pencil mark the 9, 3, and 9. Now this is not 7, so this is at least 3 cells to get to it. Now 7 can't be done in 3 cells. Yes, it can. It can be 1, 2, 4. It's a very awkward 1, 2, 4, but it is possible. How do I eliminate that? Probably the black, actually that 5 gave me 7 and 5. I may as well just do the easy bits first. And that 3 gave me a 2, so that means that's a 1 to actually add up to 10 now. And then that's a new set again. Does that help me? No, it doesn't. We can probably use the white crop dot to actually complete this. Let's just think about what are all my options here that are left. 1, 2, I need a 3, which isn't in any of these. That's a 3. These are 5, 4, 5, 9. That's the 4, 5. That's the 9. And this is either 7, which again it isn't. So it's at least 2 cells, again possibly more, that add up to 7 to get to 10. So I guess we're back to thinking about 7s. Maybe this white crop dot, sorry, black crop dot, which is not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6. That's 8. That's 4. Still leaves the possibility, by the way, of this being 1, 2, specifically as such. So we don't necessarily know yet if this is, if it's 7 in 2 cells, well, it's not 2, 5, and it's not 3, 4. It's going to have to be 1, 6. So this is always 1, regardless. And this is either 1, 2, 4 to add up to 7 with a 3, so that's a 2, or it's a 6 and it stops here. So I actually can't color this cell right now. Interesting. So it's kind of going to be pushing me in that direction. Well, I can place this cell, 7. I can not do anything here. Kind of. I mean, I've got a loose 2, 6 that I can't use. And a 3, 9. And the 3, 9 can't be in here. So this is the 2, 6. These are the 3, 9s. That isn't actually a 2. So that's 6, 2. So that is kind of a 4-cell 10. And this is a new set for this 10. That 9 can't be an 8. So that's 3. That's 2 or 4. It's not 4. That's a 2. So that's 2 cells that add up to 5. That can't be a 5. So this is actually carrying on again. 2 cells now that add up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 means that's got to be a 1 and that's got to be a 4. This is 3 or 5. And that 3 gave me a 9. And then 5 and 8. And these cells are 6, 7, 9. Now 6 I think is going to get me in trouble. No, I can make 3 and 1 work. 9 is going to get me in trouble because that can't be 1. So 9 is off the table. 7, I couldn't do 1, 2. So this would have to be 3. And if it's 6, I couldn't do 4. Again, it would have to be 3 with a 1. So it feels like the 3 is always forced. Hopefully that made sense. So okay, rewind. If it's a 7, I have one option over 3. I could also try 1, 2, as in 2 cells that add up to 7, but this cell can't be either. If it's a 6, well, obviously I couldn't have the 4. So 2 cells that add up to 4, and again, it can't be more than that given they're all in this box. It would have to be 1, 3, and that 1 is not available. That's always a 3. What I don't know is whether this is a 1 or not, as in the purple extends. But that 3 gave me a 9 up here, and then a 3 in there. And that's not a 7, and that's not a 6. So down here, I need to have a 1 with a 6, 7. And no, I was going to say that forces it. It's not, it doesn't. Because I made the assumption that this would have to be the 1, but obviously this could be 6 or 7. In fact, it could be a 6 with a 4, and therefore that's a 7, and this is another set of 10. So all of that's still possible. This 5 cage has to be 2 cells, can't be 2, 3, it is 1, 4. We can use that a bit later. That can't be 1 because it can't be 2. So there's a lot of things here. I just want to... That 3 gave me a 5, then an 8, then a 5. This is a new 2 cells that add up to 10 at least. And in fact, pencil mark says this is 7, 8. And this is 2, 3. And ironically, yeah, because it's 2, 3 in here, that would mean this would have to be 7, 3 or 8, 2, and then the same again in here. And then it's definitely only 2 cells, again, because the 1 is gone. So even if that is the minimum of 2 and that's a 7, that would require a 1 which is not available. So these 2 cells are actually 6 and 9. And you can't see the line sort of creeping up in here. So you can see that these 2 cells also will add up to 10. Right, so I think the fact that we can see this 5 cage very much is the clue here. And the fact that we have the 2, 3, and the fact that the 5 cage doesn't have repeat digits, it forces this to be 2 cells. It can't be 3, otherwise I'll break the puzzle. So this is 1, 4, that's a 5. That is not a 4, that's 6, that's 4. That can't be 1 with a 2 in here, so that's the 4, that's the 1. This is 3 or 5, not resolved. Yeah, not resolved. That 1 does give me a 9 in here and a 6. And this is another set of 10. And then at least another set in here. 3, 5. I'm surprised it's not resolved, but it isn't. That's a 9. These are 3, 5, and 6. That's not a 5. Don't know what this is. This is going to be interesting to resolve. And then 3 digits in here that are 2, 7, 8. So what we don't know with this is whether it's doing that or if it's doing that. Now these cells, the fact that we have 2 as an option is a problem. Actually, 2, 7, 8 is quite interesting with a 2, 3, 7, 8. I don't know if that's meant to be the resolution. Let's just have a think about it. So essentially, if this is 2, 8, that would be 7. If this is 3, 7, that would be 2 or 8. It doesn't help. That 3 does give me a 6. That is not a 6. We actually know now how that curves around. If that's 3, that would be 7. Well, we need 2 cells that add up. We need a cell or 2 that add up to 7. Because this is 2, 7, 8, it's got to be just the 1 cell. And if this is 5, well, I've broken it because I can't make 2 cells that add up to 5. And I can't repeat the 5. So that is 3, that is 5. That resolves this now. That's 2, 8, and that's 3, 7. That is not 7, that is not 2, 8, so that is the 7. That 2, 8, not resolved yet, but I mean, it's another new set again for 10s. If that's 8, that would be 2. If that's 2, I need, well, 8 doesn't work. Actually, hang on. 6, 7, that is a 1. That is not 7, that's a 6. That's a 7. So that does end, and that is a new set, which is only 2 cells. It can't be all of them because 3 and 4 are not available. So I can't do 1, 2, 3, 4. And I still need to place a 9. So the 9 will go in here. Ironically, I will use another color. Somehow managed to avoid it the entire time, except for just at the very end. So that's 6, that's 9. And I think we've got sorry, I removed the 2, 8 in here. That's got to be another 2, 8 to complete the row, and it's not 8. That's got to be 2, that's 8, that's 2. And we're basically left with just a bit of Sudoku to finish up. If I can, that's 4, that's 5, that's 7. If I've not made any other silly typos, that's 8 for the finish. Beautiful puzzle, once again, Mega No Double 3. It's been published for a few days, so I'm kind of surprised with the relatively low count. Normally, by the time I get to these a bit late, they're not far off 1,000 souls already. So kind of suggests it hasn't been featured somewhere else. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle in the video. I have read your comments, by the way, around symmetry, rotational symmetry. And I will post, I will aim for a short. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it in 3 minutes to sort of do it justice to explain why rotational symmetry applied there. But I agree with the comments that I haven't necessarily proven it before immediately jumping into using it. And I think it's worthwhile just walking you guys through that and the why. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle in the video. See you back soon. Bye-bye for now.